So how's it going, brothers? I just wanted to do a quick video today. The topic of this video is just what does it mean to love? Like, what is love? Specifically from the biblical perspective. And what we're going to be using as a backdrop today, as you can see on the top of the screen, it's an anime called Vinland Saga. For those of you brothers who don't know what Vinland Saga is, it's just an anime based on the wars between the Danish and the uh, the English. This character right here, who you see, is historically called Canute the Great. During his rulership, he was able to unite the Danish and the English crowns. And I'm sure for a lot of you brothers who understand history, even though he's depicted as a blonde-haired, a blue-eyed, long Caucasian, in real life, he would have been a so-called black man. For those of you brothers who have not watched my video, I touched on it briefly on the video that I did about King James, how all the people of Europe were descended from the Celtic race, which was a race of so-called black men. But that's a whole nother topic. The main reason why I chose this episode of the show is because they're going to go on their spiel about what love is. Not really in bringing out a true understanding, but more of a Luciferian understanding. But I just want to use it as a backdrop to expand on basically expand on what I know about love. But let's get started. Bro, this is just a quick aside, but the action in this series is amazing, man. For those of you brothers who have not watched Vinland Saga, I definitely recommend watching. It's an amazing anime, great story.
お体、痛みはございませんか。あの者たちは殿下を得ようと争っているのです。
And just to add a little bit more context so you brothers know what's going on. King Canute right now, his father had turned against him and basically wanted him dead during a specific battle. After that battle, though, he was saved by the main character, which is Thorfinn. You're not really going to see him in the scene, and his group of men. But right now, basically, there's the king's men, and then actually no, it wasn't the king's men. It was Thorhall the giant, well, which is historically in history, he would have been known as Thorhall the Black. It's his group of men and the main character in their group, and they're competing for this king because of his worth, essentially. So whoever has this, or not the king, the prince, whoever has the prince, they could make a lot of money by ransoming him.
あなたは勝者のものになります。
神父であろうそなた、争いを止めぬのか。
止めようがありますか。死にたいものは死なせてやればよいのです。
夢を見た。ラグナルの夢だ。別れを告げられた。死んでまで律儀な男だ。もうこの地上に私を愛してくれる者はいなくなった。
それは大いなる悟りです。だが惜しい。ラグナル殿のあなたへの思いは愛ですか。彼はあなたの安全のために62人の善良な村人を見殺しにした。殿下、愛とは何ですか。
Okay, and this is when the so-called Catholic priest is going to go into a spiel about what love is in his opinion. And you notice the specific wording he used. He said he's reached enlightenment. But when it's talking about enlightenment, it's talking about that understanding from the Luciferian aspect. But he's going to go on this spiel, and I'll show you what he means when he's talking about love.
愛とは何かだと。ラグナルは私を愛していなかったというのか。
はい。
ならば問うのは私の方だ。ラグナルに愛がないのなら、 正しく愛を体現できる者はどこにいるのだ。
そこにいますよ。ほら。彼は死んで、どんな聖者よりも美しくなった。
There goes that insertion of Luciferianism. The true love is death, because they're the god that they worship is death, the god Saturn. That's why he's talking about how this man died. He became more beautiful than anyone among the living, because these Luciferians, these Satanists, they worship the concept of death more than even life. That's why, for example, for those of you brothers who've seen the Avengers movie, how Thanos, he was obsessed with death, and how his goal was to wipe out half of all living existence in the universe. And you know what's even funnier, for those of you who actually read the comic books, Thanos was literally in love with death. Like, I believe in the comic books, there's a character called Mistress Death, who was like the physical embodiment of death as a woman, which, of course, when you understand, the scriptures, it makes sense why they use the female as the embodiment of death, because it was through Eve eating the quote unquote apple that sin or death came into the world. But that's a whole nother aside. Just the main point I'm trying to bring out is that for these Luciferian, these elite, they worship death. So that's what they think love is.
愛そのものと言っていい。彼はもはや憎むことも奪うこともしません。彼はこのままここに打ち捨てられ、その肉を獣や虫に惜しみなく与えるでしょう。雨風にさらされるがまま、それで一言半句の文句も言いません。死は人間を完成させるのです。
For those of you brothers who don't know, this is the main character of the series, Thorfinn. He's based on the historical character Thorfinn, I think it's Karosefini, who was basically a mariner and explorer, and who settled in the New World, or the Americas, in a place called quote unquote Vinland, which is the name of the series. Now, for those of you who don't know, what the word Vinland comes from the word of vine. So it's Vineland or Wineland, because the area that they settled, which was I believe maybe Nova Scotia or some part of Canada, was known for its for being able to produce a lot of grapes.
くそ。
わからんか。
And this dude right here, this was I believe Thorhall the Black. Historically, he was known as a man being over 6'8" tall, but like I just said, he was a so-called black man. So in history, when you see people called the black, the dark, the this, the that, it's in reference to their actual skin color. So when someone's called the black, it's because they were a so-called dark-skinned black man. Now, if someone's called red or the red, it's because they were a red bone, meaning what? They were a lighter-skinned, a so-called black person.
まあ気にすんなよ。そんなには期待してなかった。
姑息な手よ。愛の本質が死だというのか。
はい。
ならば親が子を、夫婦が互いを、ラグナルが私を大切に思う気持ちは一体何だ。
差別です。
And that's actually a key point that he brought out, that what he's trying to say essentially is that they're discriminating because they're giving him preferential treatment as opposed to other people. But this is the thing when it comes to love. Like, nobody loves everybody. It's just silly to even say that for you to love somebody, you're discriminating. And just a better way to say it is like love in and of itself is discriminatory, because you don't love everybody. There's certain people you love, and there's other people you don't love. Even the Most High, for those of you who read the scriptures, it tells you how he loves the nation of Israel. That's why he, during the return of Christ, and when the kingdom is established, the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be in rulership. But since he's going into his little spiel, before he goes any further, I just want to bring out my definition of love, at least understanding it based on the scriptures, and that is love is order, love is structure, especially from the Most High, since He's a Father and all of us are His sons. He's given us the scriptures, the law, statutes, commandments, and as well as other wise teachings for us to learn and grow. But that's how you know that the Most High of the Bible only loves a certain nation of people, not everybody, because He didn't provide law, statutes, and commandments for everybody. He only provided it for a certain nation of people. For example, even in real life, when you have a father, He's only going to care about you. He's going to make sure, okay, is my son eating right? Is my son doing well in school? Is my son, he better not be staying up late. Is he playing too many video games? He's not going to be worried about somebody else's kid because that other person's kid is not his problem. And a great other movie that goes over this topic, for those of you brothers who've seen Boys in the Hood, and Lawrence Fishburne's character, Furious Styles, it's like the one scene where his son, forget his name, not Ricky. Y'all know who I'm talking about, but the main character of the movie. Oh yeah, after Ricky gets shot, the main character of the movie, he grabs the father's gun. He's ready to go out guns blazing and kill who killed Ricky. But then Lawrence Fishburne's character, Furious Style, comes and he tells him, "You gonna ruin your life for this? Hey man, you're my son, and I'm sure all your friends, their mothers are upset, but you're my son. You're my responsibility." And you notice Lawrence Fishburne's character, he didn't go to the other kids and tell them, "Look, what you're doing is stupid." He didn't care what they were going to do, but he was worried about his son. He wanted to make sure his son was on the right path, that his son was doing the right thing. And it's the same with the Most High, the Bible, and the Scriptures. But of course, since this character in this show, by the way, I didn't really expound on it earlier. They are so-called quote unquote Catholics, and the character I was mentioning earlier, Canute, the blonde haired kid, his issue was since he had been reading the scriptures or he was being taught the Catholic faith, it made him soft and effeminate. So like the author of this series was trying to demonstrate that understanding the scriptures made him soft and effeminate, but by breaking free of that, that's how he becomes a real man. But they're going to expound on it a little bit more.
王にへつらい奴隷に鞭打つことと大して変わりません。ラグナル殿にとって王子殿下は他の誰よりも大切な人だったのです。おそらく彼自身の命よりも彼のあなたに対する心弱い思いは差別です。
Again, they're just saying the feelings of love that he had towards him, that he was loyal and willing to die for him, because that character actually did die a couple episodes ago. And it was for the King Canute's sake. So again, love is order and structure, but it's also loyalty and sacrifice. So if you're willing to die for somebody, that shows love. But of course, this priest is portraying it as discrimination. And to a degree, love is discriminatory because, again, you can't fucking love everybody. I don't even make any fucking sense. As you notice, as it gets further and further along, the clouds are starting to open up and more sun is starting to enlighten Canute's fate. So it's just showing you that he's slowly becoming enlightened.
そうか。分かってきた。まるで霧が晴れていくようだ。
これだもう見切られてるぞ。
And this is just an aside. This is one thing I appreciate about anime, that is you can do so much better than live action. Just the combat and the scenes, man. Like I'm just telling you again, in terms of combat, this is one of the best animes I've seen that's depicted a historical time period. One of the best, no doubt about it.
くそ、まだ浅い。分かってきた。この雪が愛なのだな。
そうです。
あの空が
Look, the sky, especially the image of the sun showing enlightenment, and his little spiel about the snow, the sky, it being love is just showing you that this is what happens when you embrace this the left hand path. You start to worship the creation more than the actual creator.
あの太陽が吹きゆく風が木々が山々がなのになんということだ。世界が神の御業がこんなにも美しいというのに人間の心には愛がないのか。
Man, that's just due to this in nature, man. I know it sucks at the end of the day because most people are self-centered and self-interested, but hey, man, that's just the world we live in, man.
私たちがこのような生き物になってしまったのは遠い祖先が神に背き罪を犯したせいだと言われています。
By the way, I know I already said this earlier, but in real life, all these men you're seeing would have been so-called black men. All of them.
私たちは楽園から追放されたのです。
Okay, this right here is just the last scene of the episode we're gonna go over.
Yeah! 決着がついたようですね。だがいけませんな。あの者は正気を失っている。殿下、お逃げになった方が良いでしょう。
正気。正気の人間がこの世のどこにいるのだ。皆同じ。皆同じだ。誰もが等しく愛することを知らぬのであろうが、生の意味を知らず、死の意味を知らず、己の戦う意味さえも知らぬ。
殿下。
And then, just on a quick aside, for those of you brothers who have watched the seasons that pass after this, the King Canute, after this revelation, he comes to the understanding that because there's a lack of order and structure, that he needs to establish his own order and structure, establish his own kingdom, because he's finally reached the point where he understands that the average person really doesn't know why they do the things they do. They have to be led, they have to be shepherded. And him being a king, and of course, if we were to just go into an actual historical perspective, he would have had some understanding that he was descended from the people of the book, but that's a whole another topic.
もういい。もううんざりだ。
Actually, let me just expound on it quick, because Canute was a Danish prince. For those of you who don't know, the Danes are primarily descended from the tribe of Dan. That's where their name Dane comes from. Dane just means son of Dan. That's why a lot of areas in Dane, there was Daneland, Denmark. That's another way of saying son of Dan. There's places like the Danube. Basically, a lot of words in that area that relate to Dan, the son of Jacob. And even when it comes to the Danish being descended from the people of the book, it wasn't strictly that, because again, like I stated earlier, the Danish as well as the English as well, the Anglo-Saxons, they were descended from those that Celtic stock, and the Celtics were a mixture of the people of the Bible and the Canaanites, or in conventional history, they would have been known as the Phoenicians, and they were all so-called black men.
地を得て代わりに失ったもの、最も大切なもの、そしてそれは生ある限り 私たちの手には入らぬもの。
And that's the price you pay when you want to do things your own way. For those of you brothers who read Genesis, 3rd chapter, it says they eat the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and you'll become like gods, knowing good and evil. Well, hey, when you want to be your own God, you have to be able to create your own structure. So it's similar to if we were equated to the real world. If you're like a teenager or a young child and you try to rebel against your father, the father will tell you, "Hey, man, no problem. Go out there, live your life. Make money yourself, make your own decisions. You might fuck up, but that's not my problem if you want to do your own thing." And it's the same with the Most High. So people complain about how wicked the world is, how the world sucks, and why isn't God doing anything? Hey, man, for the most part, the average person has already rejected God. So you can't reject the teachings and the structure and the laws of the Most High and then complain when shit is fucked up. Shit is gonna be fucked up because you stubborn.
手には入らぬ。それでも追い求めよというのか。天の父よ。哀れな戦士、最も愛より尊き者、楽園を追われし者よ。そなたたちの罰の苦しみは死より他に終わらせる術がないのか。我々の生は試され耐え続けるためにのみある。
Well, some of us do, because again, I'm sure for you brothers who read the scriptures again, it lets you know specifically in I believe it's 2nd Ezra how your faith is going to be like gold tried in a fire. Even in Revelations, it mentions the same thing. So for those of us who are meant to be the elect, we are going to have to be tested and endure, and that's a part of growing in life. Of course, with this character, his anger is some people are tested and they fail, they don't pass. Well, at the end of the day, not everybody's meant to succeed, man. That's just life. When it comes to school, when it comes to athletics, when it comes to just anything in life, there's always going to be winners and there's going to be losers. Some people can pass the test, other people can't. That's just life.
あるというのか。天の父よ。あなたの与える試練ではこの者の魂は救えぬ。
Not everybody was meant to be saved, man. But that's another controversial topic. Yeah, but I think this is a good place to end the video. As you can see, the sun is illuminating off him. Now he's become somewhat of a lightened figure. He was able to bring this quote unquote beast man back into understanding. Give him his sanity again. But again, for those of you brothers who've not watched Vinland Saga, I highly recommend watching the series. It's a very great series. Probably one of the best manga out there. And I'm sure I'll be doing videos in the future on other parts of the show, just using it to expand on certain topics. But again, when it comes to love, from my perspective, from the Most High, it's about order and structure. So again, that's why there are laws in the Bible, because with those laws, it helps you to become a functional person. Now, this show, the love that they're talking about, they're really talking about the love of Saturn, the love of the devil, essentially, which is death, confusion, and everybody just doing whatever they feel like doing. That's what they're talking about, love. Love without boundaries, love without discrimination, just that Power of Babel love, where everybody's holding hands and coming together and and singing Kumbaya. But for those of you brothers who are read the scriptures or just understand certain things about life, you understand that not everybody is meant to come together. Not everybody's meant to hold hands and things like that, because there's levels to life. And even in the kingdom to come, there's going to be the elect who are on the top and then everybody else. But yeah, with that being said, that's just going to be the end of this video. Peace out, brothers.